So here's another of my favorite mushrooms here. Let's see what this one here is. Oh yeah. So this one here is the Amanita calyptroderma. And the things that make it real notable are the universal veil remnants that are above it, because it comes out of an egg, basically. And then it has these really nice striation, kind of a buff yellow kind of stems. Trends white usually, but the other thing is if you dig around the base down here, you'll see that it has a very significant and substantial, what's called a vulva. And so you can actually pull the whole thing out. And this is what differentiates it from its poisonous relative. There's several things. One being the big vulva. Here's its annulus. Has the universal thick, substantial universal veil remnant on the cap that doesn't just disintegrate when you smash it in your fingers. And it also has a very nice and hollow stem. If I were to crack this open, you would see that. Let's see. Look for some more of these. Here's another one right over here. This one being a little bit darker, a little bit younger. You can see the color difference on this one. This one's not as mature, but it's dry, so it's a little bit different. But again, if you get down underneath it and you lift that out, this one's nasty, but look at the thickness on that, how big that thing is. So again, huge vulva, very substantial, very thick. This one has only barely open, but is already rotting for some reason. So we'll crack this one open. It has the striations along the cap, has a nice thick universal veil that you can peel back, and doesn't disintegrate, doesn't disappear. And then let's split this one right down the middle, even though it's going to make my hands stink. Let's see. And, ooh, nasty. You can see that it's hollow on the inside of that stem. Interesting. Very interesting. Looks like there's another one right up here. Take a look at this one. See how good it is. Again, you can see that nice big egg patch on top. You can look underneath, you can see that nice big vulva. The poisonous lookalikes, it has a very closed vulva that comes back and cups back towards the stem, and is not as thick and substantial. Actually falls apart, and if you try to pull it up with the vulva intact, it actually just falls apart and doesn't come with the mushroom. That's a nice big one. Yum. Very yum. It's cool to see these patches produce year after year. Too bad we missed that one. So here's another Amanita species. This one, right off the bat, you can tell has these very light little flecks of the universal veil. It does actually have some striation along the edge of the cap. This one's frozen solid, so it's really hard to tell. If you look deeper and you try to dig out the vulva down here, you'll see that there's really not much of a vulva there. It's not really present. It has a nice strong annulus. It even has some of this flocking along the stem, but no real vulva. It's very small, This is the vulva right here. So it's very small, very tight to the stem, not a big wide open one. Let's see. Looks like there's another one here. Again, you can see it does have the striations along the side of the cap, but let's see if we can get down in there. Again, almost no vulva. Nice annulus. Almost no universal veil. Just the remnants are very small little patches. That's a sure sign of the Amanita, pantherina group. Then here's the striations along the side. They're there. Not very strong, not very pronounced. And let's see what the inside of the stalk looks like. Whoop. That didn't work. So the stalk is sort of hollow, more of a cottony fill. Let's see what this one looks like here. Let's check this one. So you can see right there, not very hollow. You snap it open, see how it's not hollow. It has cotton inside of it. Has that yellow color to the inside of the stalk. There's a little bit of hollow down here, but see how it's mostly full. It's mostly filled with that cotton inside of there. So if you find one of these, this color is sort of similar to the spring kakuras, but these you would not want to eat, and you would not want to eat them if you're not sure. So here again, here's a little pantherina baby. You can see those patches of the universal veil still on the top. Very little. You can see the little vulva there around the base. Very minimal. Let's see. Kicked over a couple of little rotten ones here, but look right here. There's a very young baby. So a lot of people will get worried about eating the calyptroderma eggs. So you can see the vulva, you can see the little universal veil patches starting to break up across the top. If you cut this in half, you will see, boy, wash out in the sunlight there. It's almost solid. Largely solid. There's a small patch of that internal stalk there that's not open yet. And so this again is one of those things where you have to be really careful about eating amanitas that you don't mess that up. This is kind of cool. Here's a grisette, another amanita. This is a amanita vulva something or other, or whatchamacallit. So if we pull this one up, you can see its vulva remnants there at the bottom. Nice and cottony, wide, not very substantial, very delicate. No annulus. Notice that. Has nice, well-defined striations along the top. Some universal veil. Sometimes they have more than others. And these are edible. These are quite delicious, actually. And then check this out. Let me see. Totally hollow stem, or greatly hollow. And nice gray top.